Good evening, everyone, and you're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Russell podcast. Right now on the line, we have the queen of Skullfucks, Primetime Amy Lee. How are you tonight, Primetime Amy Lee? What's going on?
What's up, boo?
What's going on? What's going on in your world?
Not so much, man. Like, this weekend I got NYWC wrestling up in Long Island there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's pretty cool is Tito Santana is going to be wrestling.
Oh,
WWE Hall of
Tito.
Famer. Yeah.
Arriba! The old Arriba. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
he's on the show, and Bull James. And,
go Bull James.
You know what? I got to tell you, there's two young guys that are coming up on the indies that I just heart. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Bam Sullivan and Aiden Bale.
Those guys are awesome.
Aiden Bale, let me tell you something. Aiden Bale is to the indies today coming up what Trent Acid was.
Yes.
And I told Missy Sampson and Annie Social and a bunch of people, watch this kid. He's like a Trent Acid in grooming.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so is Bam Sullivan. And the most nicest guys with the etiquette and mannerism in the locker room.
And with the mouse, of course, too. Come on. You gotta leave the
let me tell you something. I told Mouse, because he's got balls bigger than Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
It's Psycho Circus for NYWC Wrestling.
Yeah.
I told him, you are no longer a mouse. You are my rat.
Oh, the rat.
Mouse is Amy Lee's rat.
Oh, that is awesome. That's crazy, but
yeah, he's a great kid. He's another great kid.
I mean, by God.
Yeah, those three. I love watching them.
You know what?
The best thing H2O did, Matt Tremont did, was bring those three in.
I know, and look at that. They're going to be they're going to be coming up here pretty soon. Actually, October for the big show, October 20th for the Danny Havoc.
Yeah, for Danny Havoc show.
Danny Havoc and Matt Tremont's extravaganza death match. Crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. And then this Sunday I'm wrestling for H2O, and it's Opportunity Knox.
You know what, Amy? Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming?
He reached out. He said, I want to wrestle Amy Lee. And I'm like, no problem. Just prepared to get your balls shoved up your throat and out through your eye sockets and get skull fucked.
Well, guess what, Amy Lee? I'm going to watch that live in person. How's that? I'm coming.
That's pretty fucking tremendous.
Yes. And I dragged my friend to come. He wants to go. He's never seen you wrestle. I told him you have to go see her. She's awesome. So.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's funny because I like reading my morning commutes to the office, my legal beagle job. I like reading the feeds that different wrestlers write. And Lufisto, I was stuck in 3 hours of fucking traffic thanks to the Ben Franklin Bridge and him doing about 2 feet of fucking repaving in the middle of rush hour and in the rain to jerk off. My hour commute turned into 3 fucking hours of my life I'll never get back. But anyway, the only positive, because I always try to look for a positive into a negative, is I was reading my Facebook feed, and I saw something from Lufisto where she was working a babyface, and she was giving the babyface a shine, and, you know, she didn't do all her crazy moves that she normally does and stuff, and she really, let the babyface shine, and a fan was like, oh, you know, this is boring, this was this, you didn't do all your moves, and kind of, shit on it, and she was like, did I do something wrong? And I was like, absolutely not. That's the problem today in pro wrestling.
I know.
Is that you have a heel and you have a babyface. Nobody wants to be a total babyface. Nobody wants to be a total heel. Everybody wants to be a tweener. The only way you can be a tweener is from the fans, okay? You don't sit there and say, I want to be a tweener. Some fans are going to like you. Some fans are going to fucking hate you, okay? It's what they want. It depends on the territory that you're at. It depends on the location, geographical location, and stuff like that. If you're a hometown boy, of course, you're going to be an automatic babyface. No matter what you do, you can piss in the middle of the ring and you're going to be a babyface. So I said, I was reading that, and I read everything that she said, and I said to her, I give you kudos. You did everything absolutely 1,000,000,000% correct because you let the baby face shine. You did the typical, old school heel versus baby face. You pounded on the baby face, and you let the baby face get their shine. 1, 2, 3, baby face goes over. That's wrestling psychology fucking 101. Yeah. Okay? That was from back in the fucking 40s and 30s and shit.
Yes.
So I said to her, listen, remember when I wrestled Vox from Mike Quackenbush's dojo? She's a good girl. Yeah. So I wrestled her, and I put her over at the end. I have a manager. I'm a heel. So, of course, I do chicken shit. It's a family show. There's a little girl there ringside. Yeah. So, of course, you're going to play up to the kids because
you got it.
That's what they want. So I play up to the kids as a real wussy and everything, and back down from the kids. Let Vox do her shine. I do my shine. Mm-hmm. I have a manager. We do a fuck finish. I fuck myself over. Vox gets 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Powers out. Kid did everything I said. Absolute 1,000%. I give her kudos for that. She was so ecstatic because I was originally supposed to go over, and I'm like, well, if I got a heel manager, it's kind of dumb for me to go over because I'm so much bigger than this kid. I got at least 100 pounds. That looks so stupid. Yeah. So I said because this was at Atomic Championship Wrestling in Stevensville, and I love working for them because it's very old school, very traditional, pro wrestling.
Yeah, we know how old school is. We know how the old school is. I turned around and
I talked to Tate Hammer, and I said, do I still have Corplank? He goes, absolutely. I said, good, I want to put Vox over. And he was like, really? And I said, yeah, I want to put her over. I said, if I got a heel manager, I want to put her over. And we did. So then, next time I come back, I'm wrestling Lufisto. Now, the show ran late because the doctor was over an hour late showing up, which really sucks in the state of Pennsylvania because you can't start a show without the doctor. And then they did a Hall of Fame where they honored Tate, and a lot of people were coming out there. And that was only supposed to be a 15-minute segment. It turned into almost an hour. So you're 2 hours behind on your show. So Lufisto and I went out there, and we just did a pretty much, blah, blah, blah. I let her do the shine. Now, what I did was, because we were waiting for the doctors, I went out into the ring, and I just cut a promo on Lufisto. Fuck Lufisto, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, typical Amy Lee promo. Everybody go fuck themselves in their mother's stuff,
Yeah.
And I had to heal. I had the crowd in my hand when I just walked out there. They were booing me and stuff, and I was just like, whatever, you suck, and blah, 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 different things, and you see some of the people, and they're not so attractive, and they're not so built. They make me feel like a fitness model with the way they're built. But I'm not going to make fun of their looks and all. No. To me, that's fucked up. That's bullshit. I know. So instead, I just looked at the one lady who was like almost 400 pounds, and I said, listen, you know that I know that you know that I know you're jealous because that dude over there likes me. And she was like, you're fucking stupid. And I was like, oh, great. So I popped for it. I was like, cool. I worked Lufisto, and it was great. I mean, I wish it was a longer match, and it's definitely something I want to do. It was definitely something on my bucket list, but I definitely want to do something like really chaotic with her, out there because she's just fucking awesome and balls to the wall. So, we had a match and everything, and it was great because, we did a fuck finish on her with my manager, 1, 2, 3 pin, and I just bailed out. I just let her in the ring, and I just fucking bailed out. Let her have the ring for her moment. So, and that's what I did. And that's what you got to do. And that's the thing. Like, I try and explain to people nowadays, you got two kind of pro wrestling matches. You got one that's a buffet, where it's everything and anything you can imagine in it. But what the problem is, think about this when you go to buffet.
Yes.
You look at everything. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach. You get the plate. You throw chicken on it. You throw roast beef. You throw everything and anything. You just pile all this shit on top of shit.
And then you get onto the dessert tray.
Then you sit there and you eat it. So you really don't enjoy it. But you got everything you wanted. So you're satisfied that way. But you really didn't enjoy it because you really didn't taste everything. Yeah. Whereas if you go to a restaurant and you sit down, you order steak, you order your sides, you can taste everything, and you can digest what's been given to you. Yeah. And that's how I wrestle. I wrestle like a sit-down dinner. I have people digest what I do. Every word I say, every move I make, every facial expression. Because it's one thing you're on TV. It's another thing when you're on the indies. And what people forget is, because they're so crazy about the DVDs and sales and stuff, is that they forget there's 4 sides to a ring. They play one side. You can't do that. No. Because then you're totally disrespecting the opposite side of the camera. You're ignoring those people. You're ignoring the people to your left and to your right. This isn't TV where you've got to work the TV camera. No. You have to work all 4 sides. And everybody in that arena has to see what you're doing. And people aren't doing that. They're just playing to the camera. So every fucking move you're doing is in front of the camera. It's not, instead of having somebody at ringside filming you, like Atomic, what they do is they have the hard camera, and then they have a guy with the handheld camera, and he follows you around. And he can pick up your comments and your facials and different things like that. So I like that a lot. But a lot of places don't do that, and a lot of wrestlers, they really do not know how to work a crowd. You can watch them do all these crazy moves, but listen to the crowd. Yeah. It's crickets. It's crickets.
It is.
And guys will post a match and say, "Oh, I had this match on Saturday night." Blah 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 blah. And I'm watching them do all these death-defying moves.
Yeah.
But the crowd is quiet.
Yeah, they don't know what it's all about. They need to study.
No,
they need to study.
It's all quiet, and I'm like, no,
they have to study.
That's not what you do.
Yeah, you have to study your wrestlers. You got to study who you like and who you hate. You got to, that's what the business is about.
Well, what it is the fans. They're just like, okay, how many people are going to go through a table tonight?
Yeah.
How many people are going to do a super kick?
Yep.
How many people are going to do a hurricanrana? How many people are going to do this? How many people are going to do that? If you watch my matches are never duplicated to anything anybody else does.
I know it.
Totally different.
I've seen it.
You know
myself.
what I do?
I've seen it, Amy.
I just work that crowd. That crowd is paying to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I do. I entertain
and
them.
fans,
I am their perversion.
You know what, Amy? Let me say this. And anyway, as a fan, myself, a long-year fan of yours, for going years and years, and you're pristine the act. You show what you are and show the character. The wrestling is, besides the wrestling, they're actually, it's an act, and people really don't know the persona of it. It's like, it's a storyline that it's a storyline like they always say, and then it's the wrestling match, and then you interact with the fans like you. How many times have we interacted, like yelling and hating each other, goofing around? Mm-hmm. It's like, you loved it. You got the ampness, the high, the high of the fan, and people just don't realize. They just don't know what wrestlers go through, and fans as myself, it's great. But I love to heckle every single person I can get my words in and just have fun,
people, I get a biggest kick because the highest compliment for me when I was working WSU and when I was working WEW.
Oh, speaking of WS, did you see who's just got signed for the WWE? I saw.
Yes, Miriam.
I know. Awesome. Big shout out to her.
I am so
proud
happy
of her.
for her.
I know how she deserves.
She's been through so much and she's busted her ass. I'm sad.
Yeah.
See, I'm really happy for her because she's really worked hard, but I'm sad for my girl Mercedes.
Yeah.
I want to see her in there. She would be a phenomenal trainer.
She
Mercedes
really would
be a phenomenal trainer. And you know who else I would love to see in there? Rufus, though.
Yeah.
Rufus,
I know.
I would love to see her and Carrie Dan go at it. I would love to see that. I think that would be a great match.
Well, we're glad that she got no, it's awesome. It's her time to shine. She'll show them what she's got. We know.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of girls over the years and all. I'm really happy for Mia. She's really busted her ass and stuff. But I like to see Mercedes in there. If they were smart, they would bring Mercedes in as a trainer. They really should.
They should. Yeah.
If they were smart with her knowledge and experience. But,
it is what it is. But back to what we were talking about. So we were saying, what were you saying? Fans, saying something about the fans, right? We were saying...
Yeah, well, with WEW and with WSU, when I used to work those shows, I mean, I was hated. I mean, I would work shows and people would throw beer bottles at me. Fans would boo me. But that's my job, okay?
Yep.
So when I would come out at intermission, a lot of times I would walk through the crowd and people would part because they're like, I don't know what the fuck she's going to do. And I would look at somebody and I would just look them up and down. I go, and I would remember what they would say, but I would do it on purpose. And I would go, I see you don't have your fucking cell phone saying, Jenny Craig's calling. I guess the bitch hung up because she's too pussyfied to face me. And they just kind of look at you. I go, oh, well, fuck her, fuck you, and I just keep walking. But the crowd loves that because you're acknowledging them.
Yeah.
Or if I'm out there and, I'm drinking a water or something, and somebody will be like, oh, Amy Lee, that's not Jack Daniels, and I'm like, no, you fuck, it's vodka. God, it's water. But they love that shit. They love when you talk to them that way. Because that's what they want. You have to understand something. People work all day long. People see this on TV. They're never going to hang out with John Cena and all that. So if I'm out there and they say something to me, I'm going to acknowledge them. Some people say some stupid shit like, do you remember seeing me front row when I was at this show? And I just look at them and I go, and I just looked at one guy and go, yeah, I was taking a shit this morning. I said, remember that guy that sat front row during that show? And people laugh, and kind of break the balls, and I'll go, I'm just fucking with you. But that's what they want. They want to interact. That's why they go to the indie shows, and people don't realize that. And another thing that's a pet peeve of mine, the way the wrestlers come to the shows. When you come to a show, should be dressed presentable. I'm not saying you don't have to put a suit on and a button-down shirt.
You don't need a Wu-Tang. You don't need a
nice fucking T-shirt on.
You don't need a Wu-Tang Clan shirt on, or right. Or P. Diddy.
Yeah,
those.
Like when I go to a show,
I see all that.
Nice. Believe it or not, I left because my character in the ring is totally opposite. I am the biggest clothing whore there is. I have 9 closets full of clothes. I have over 300 pair of fucking shoes, and I have 12 or more full of jewelry. Oh. I am such a fucking foo-foo. As Missy Sampson would say, Amy Lee, you're the biggest fucking kayfaber in the business. You're a foo-foo motherfucker.
What the hell? Amy, I've got a closet full of, how many closetfuls of wrestling shirts? Come on.
No, you know what? Like, I really don't. You know what's so funny? Yeah. I can tell you right now, on one hand, the wrestling T-shirts I own.
Yeah.
1 is Hogan.
Yeah.
2 is William Regal.
Yeah.
And 3 is Mustache Mountain.
Yeah.
And 4, honestly, is Traymon's.
And mine.
Show he ever promoted.
And mine.
And 5 is Marty Skrull.
And mine. Thank you.
Well, yours is special.
Well, wait a minute. I didn't get it.
I put yours under my pillow.
I didn't get it, Amy. I got to get one, Amy. I have to get one from you. Ooh.
Well, I have new ones coming out this day. Right. Keep Calm and Skullfuck.
Oh, I like it. You know what I bought?
You know
what I bought at?
I'm waiting for those to come in.
I'm actually looking at a skull right now, Amy.
Hopefully I'll have them soon. I know I'll have them by November to be selling them.
I should bring this to the ring.
Everybody.
I should bring this to the ring for you on Sunday. I went to the thrift shop, or not the thrift, Home Goods, and I saw this. I saw this skull on the counter. It was a gold. It's gold. It's glass. It's glass.
Oh fuck yeah!
I'm bringing.
Nice. You know what's so funny is I went into the Halloween store with my niece. We went to see the new Jack Black movie. The Clock Was in the House, inside the house. We went to go see that because it was a book I used to read to her when she was a kid.
Yeah.
And we went to the Halloween store over in Dufferin, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And they had this bright pink trick-or-treat bag with black boa trim on it, and then it had the skull and crossbones, girly. Yeah. And she looked at it and went, I'm going trick-or-treat with that mother-fucker. She's like, Aunt Amy, don't you think you're old? I go, you're never too old to get free candy, kid.
I should bring this on Sunday. You'd be like, wow. Everybody would be like, what the hell?
Yeah, I would pop for it.
Huh? All right.
Definitely.
You might steal it.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool because I'm working steady for Atomic, of course, H2O, and then H2O's having its
H2O's doing a lot of
show November 17th.
I know. I got to get myself to that one. I'm definitely want to get to that.
Yeah, Kimberly's going to be on there, and some of the girls from the Midwest. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I know. Yeah, Midwest. I think Amy. Yeah.
Well, I'm laughing now because everybody wants to do these intergender matches. Intergender matches have been going on for many, many years down south. People like Debbie Combs and Sherry Martel did these matches, and Sue Green and Joyce Grable and all. They did them back in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. I did them in my early years of my career,
Yeah.
That was a way of you to step up your game and different things and it was like a novelty thing where it was like, all right, I got these workers booked. Now what do I do? We'll do an intergender or like mixed tag matches and stuff like that. Sometimes they would use midgets and girls, and sometimes it was, midgets, girls, and regular workers, guy workers and stuff. So it was kind of cool. So
it's like the only midget you see. It's like the only midget.
Now that's like the latest crave. Everybody wants to do intergender because I laugh when I hear like, I want to do an intergender with this chick or that chick or this chick or that chick, and I laugh. And I was talking to Matt Tremont about it, and I said to Matt, I look like, like they want Maria Manic, they want Tara Calloway, they want Jordan Grace. I said, notice they never say Amy Lee, and he just starts laughing. He goes, Mom, because they know you'd fucking whoop their ass. And
damn right.
Oh, I was. I said, I wouldn't take it light on them because they're a dude. I said, I wouldn't expect them to take it light on me. I said, I like a good stiff one. Yeah. I said, especially in the ring. And he just started laughing. So he was saying how Joe, Stockade wanted to wrestle me for the longest time.
Yes.
And I said, you book it, I'll show. And he said, how about Sunday? And I said, okay. So
sweet.
I'm going to work Stockade. I work DJ Hyde, and I'll work Stockade.
All right. It's this well, it's coming up really quick. I can't wait.
This weekend's going to be a busy weekend for me. I got New York on Saturday. It was NYWC Wrestling, and then I have H2O Opportunity Knocks on Sunday. against Stockade.
Crazy.
I don't even know who I'm wrestling on NYWC. The last time I worked there, I did a mixed tag match, and I worked with the what are they called, the Beer Belly Bandits, and I actually enjoyed working with them because it was like working. It was like working down south. It was like stepping back into time because they're very, very old school, and they don't do 5,000 spots and craziness. Like they were telling a story in the ring, and it was really nice. I really enjoyed working with Bo and all. It was a lot of fun. I actually like working for NYWC because they're very old school. It's like the Johnny Rods influence and the Dominic DeNucci influence, the Johnny Valiant influence. Yes. So it's really nice.
I need to get myself, Amy, drag myself there somehow. I mean, just my.
Well, I know. Me and Joe Beasler are going on Saturday if you want to go out with us.
We'll tell him to swing by my house in Jersey. Come on, we'll go. Come on, because I don't. You know,
we're not stopping for 99 fucking coffees. I heard about that road trip.
Oh. I live for my Starbucks. Thank you.
I love Starbucks. I'm a Starbucks whore. I actually bought this blonde coffee with 2 times the caffeine in it over at Target the other day. Yeah. The little K-Cups?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love my coffee. I don't blink when I drink my coffee.
Can't go away with it. Cannot.
No, Starbucks, my new BFF next to Jack.
I mean, if I was trying to find one actually, there were a couple in Colorado when I was there, so I was blessed,
Yeah. Beasler was telling me, I was like, he kept fucking drinking coffee. I was like, what the fuck? And I just started laughing.
You know what? Hey, you got to keep yourself going. If you're on a trip or something, you just want to be energized.
Yeah, I was like cracking up when he was telling me.
Because I was getting sick of
drinking. How about him, man? He was in that accident.
Oh my God! Yeah, he's
lucky. He's alive.
Blessed.
He really is.
He's so blessed. We're so blessed. We would have hated.
Oh my God! You know what I told him? I said, Kevin Hogan was looking out for you.
I was telling.
Muffin Man was looking out for you from above, brother.
I know he was. I know.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But we won't tell that story to people. Yeah, they don't really need to know that. But yeah, it was scary.
No. That was.
Miss our buddy Kevin. Shout out to Kevin. Where are you, buddy? Be there. I love it. But yeah. So yeah, not much really going. What do I got? See, I don't have much going on, Amy. I have. I'm working on a podcast. Actually, I think I'm working on this. One of the original. I've been doing a lot of Glow Girl interviews lately.
Oh yeah,
that is awesome. Talking to all the old people who the original cast, and they do that series they have, and then the musical they got going on right now. So awesome. This is pretty cool to hear their thoughts of wrestling back then and now.
Yeah. Well, I read somewhere that the Women's Evolution pay-per-view is not really selling out like they planned.
Oh yeah.
For WWE, and what I tried to explain to people was, I'm not knocking any of the girls on the roster because they really bust their asses. They really do. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, and it's not them, it's the bookers and the writers, and they're booking and writing the same shit that you can watch on TV. They're not making anything. Remember back in the day, WrestleMania was your grand poobah of everything. Mm-hmm. Okay? And WrestleMania was your blow-off and your build to next WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And you had the Survivor Series. Like, somebody was always chasing for the championship belts or there was a feud. And, and it would always blow up at WrestleMania or Survivor Series or something. That's where, you really blew everything off and you would start your next storyline. Mm-hmm. You don't do that anymore.
No.
They just smush it. It's like a buffet. They just smush it all together and say, here you go, eat it.
I don't even.
No.
Amy, I really don't even. You know what? I don't even watch Raw anymore. I gave up watching it. I just.
This is a horrible thing to say, but the only reason why I even watch NXT is because
I love NXT.
Because Trent Seven, that's my boy Trent.
Hey,
I remember when he flew himself over here and was wrestling for nothing at CZW just for opportunities, and for Chikara just for opportunities to come over here. And Pete Dunne flew himself over here, and Wolfie,
we know a lot of them. We know a lot of people.
Mark Andrews and Tyler Bates. So they're like my boys. So good
old Ruby. Look where Ruby is. Come on, she's doing great for herself.
Yeah, she's not doing bad at all. I was very happy to hear about Becky Lynch getting the belt.
Yeah.
Been long overdue. I love her.
I like don't get me wrong, I like Raw, but I just don't like now it's stale. It's the same stuff we've seen, but I keep my focus on NXT and the 205 Live, 205 Live.
Yeah. It's hard because like I said, they used to build these angles, and it's like, all right, how many more times are we going to watch Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles?
How many times are you going to see John Cena? Come on, like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar, this, and Roman Reigns, this, that.
Oh, I'm so sick of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
I know.
I'm just like, because think about it, like, when Hogan had his feuds with somebody, it was for a whole year.
Yeah.
And you always, like, how about Piper? Come on, the greatest feud was fucking Piper and Orndorff versus Hogan and Mr. T. They build it up and build it up and build it up and build it up, and they would tease and tease and tease until it finally would happen. Then you were on the edge of your seat, and you just were so absorbed like a sponge, in a sink, because you were like, oh my god, you don't want to miss anything. Like, nobody was allowed to talk, nobody was allowed to stand in front of the TV. You were just like so engrossed.
No.
Very hard anymore to do that.
I know.
It really is.
It is.
Like, I'm even disappointed in Ring of Honor, because they forget the people that really started that. They don't really mention, and they kind of like, they're like WWE anymore. They forget the past and the history of it.
Yep.
Of the business, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No, they need to see the new faces. Come on, the new faces, the old faces.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'll tell you who I think is very underrated on the NBC, and that's Marty Scurll. And people are like, what? Marty Scurll? They look at me like I got 5 heads. Look at it. Okay, I know he does goofy shit now, especially the fucking karaoke shit. I'm like, come on, Marty, seriously?
Yeah, right.
But when he does his villain gimmick, like when he comes, listen, his fucking character is off the hook.
It is.
It's something from the fucking 80s. I love it. When he comes out like the plague doctor, he'll walk out there, and he's in his gear. A lot of people don't do that anymore. No. And then just like his promos and how he sets up like these crazy videos and stuff. I love that. The man is, first of all, the guy, he's nice looking. He's a nice looking guy. He's got a great character. He can talk, and he's articulate when he speaks, so you understand.
And
what
he was actually at that.
wrestler.
Wasn't he at Standalone Wrestling? I wasn't there for that night, but I heard he was there.
He was. Yeah. He's great. He's great. And you know what? It's so funny because people are going to be like, "Oh, you're fucking nuts." But if you look at Marty Scurll now, he's like the millennium version of the Undertaker. Think about it, with the way he comes out, and the way he does things. He doesn't, not like, when I say Undertaker, like how he carries that character to the ring and how he comes to the ring and stuff like that. Yeah. He's really a good wrestler too. He really is. And I'm like, I just like look and I go, I can't believe the Fed hasn't picked him. Well, I still call him the Fed, but I'm like, I can't believe NXT hasn't picked him up yet. Yeah. I'm like really surprised because he has a great look. He's a very good talker. He has charisma. He's just an all-around talent.
That's what. What the hell? Who was that other? Shane Knock. Oh, what the hell? Joey Janela just faced him. Hangman Page. That's another face that would be good at WWE. Yes. Like he's like the Dolph Ziggler of the. Kind of.
Like I look at these guys and I'm like, all right. And I know they only have so much room for so many people, but I'm serious. Like even Impact, I would like grab Marty Scurll and just throw him under a contract, and I would just use him as my ultimate fucking heel. Yeah, I really would. Yeah. I would just use him as a heel. The problem with Marty, I mean, like I understand he's with the Bullet Club and everything with New Japan, but the only thing I don't like is he's showing his goofiness too much with this karaoke shit, and I know they like to goof off and all, but if you're going to do the gimmick of the villain and you're going to be the absolute villain, you're going to dress like a plague doctor and all, you got to fucking play that role. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like, that was, like, I was watching that stuff from All In. Like, come on, they didn't need to have the karaoke session. That was, like, stupid, you know what I mean? Yeah. They didn't really need that for the fans. They should have actually talked, more talking. Yeah. And
they should have done a Q&A or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was like, and then I watched because he's doing an autograph signing with Cody and then the other guys, and I'm looking and Cody's like the highest paid, and then the other guys are getting like 25 a picture, and poor Marty's like they're getting 25, 30, and poor Marty's only getting 20, and I'm like, somebody's not booking this right. Like, he needs a fucking agent or something. Man, something's not right. No. But he's a talent. He really is a talent, and he's a nice guy. But he's like, I just think he reminds me. Like I said, he's like the Millennium version of the Undertaker with the whole ring entrance, dramatic ring entrance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like all around package, he's like Chris Candido because he can wrestle, he can talk, he's good looking, he's talented, he has a presence about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't blend in with all those guys.
No.
Like a lot of those guys all blend in with the long hair, the straggly. He doesn't blend in, and that's what I love. I don't like people that blend in.
No.
I like people that stand out, and I think he stands out.
So Marty, if you're hearing this, listen to this. Me and you, we're calling you out. You know, we're calling you out. Come on to the Jersey Shore. Come anywhere. Wrestle H2O. Wrestle H2O, please. H2O is calling you.
I was reading, like I said, when I'm going to the office, I like to read people's like wrestlers. I don't follow every wrestler in the business, but there's certain like I'll follow William Regal because I like what he says and stuff.
He's so
I'll follow Fit Finley. Fit Finley says, "Yeah, back in the day, the wrestlers were thick and they were beefy and meat eaters." He goes, "Now they're all toned and vegans or something." And I just start cracking up. I thought that was great. I was like, "Yeah, pretty much." And all of a sudden, meat's bad for you. Nobody eats meat anymore.
No.
Like. Fuck that. All right, you eat the carrot sticks. I'll eat the fucking porterhouse, you know?
I'll take a ribeye.
What the fuck?
Oh, so great. So great. But yeah, the world's changing. Changing the
What's
world.
that?
Changing the wrestling world, you know?
Oh, my God.
So much,
I even look at people's gear. Everybody looks the same. I'm just like, oh, I can't.
Get some
Cookie cutter. I can't. I have to be different. Gotta
be different.
Hey, it's not every 49-year-old woman that can have bleach blonde hair and rock out ponytails. You know what I'm saying? But I can pull it off.
All right, we're gonna sign you up and have you wrestle PCO. You'll be up there in age almost. My God, right? PCO versus Amy Lee. Can you see it? Oh God.
Hey, you know who's great? I've been picking is Adrian Street. He's fucking awesome, dude. From back in the day.
Yeah.
The status and sequence, he's awesome. Oh man, him and Miss Linda, they're phenomenal people. I always pick his brain. I even told him, I was like, how I came about starting using the ponytails was my T-shirt that I have. I wear it when I do overseas shows. You know. Here I used to do the Pink Flaming Skulls.
Yeah.
Because that was more like WSU, WEW. Yep. But over there I did like the more girly thing because that was what they wanted over there. So DJ was like, if you do them ponytails, I'll pop for it over here. Now, I've done it overseas, and I've done it overseas as a tribute to Adrian Street because he was always the sadist in sequence, and he's just like a legitimate tough motherfucker, you know? So when DJ Hyde said that to me when we were going to wrestle, he goes, oh, have you done, and I was like, fuck it. So when I did Atomic Championship Wrestling and Rogue, I did the ponytails. Well, it was over, and then I did it at NYWC Wrestling, and they popped for it, too, the people. And the one woman's like after the show and all, she was like, that was you in the ponytails, wasn't it? And I was like, oh, no, that was my twin sister. She's like, really? I thought that was you. I go, no, that was my twin sister. And she was like, oh, okay. And I just, like, walked away. Somebody's like, you have a twin sister? I went, fuck, no, it was me. I just, like, I was like, you know, I just wanted to get the fuck out of here. So, but, yeah, so, like, when DJ had said that, I was like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'll give DJ kudos for that. But my whole ponytail thing is in tribute to Adrian Street.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know?
That's
big
shout out to him.
Fucking awesome. And that's the thing, like, people don't realize, like, they don't go back and they don't look at their history. They think that nothing existed before the 90s, you know, or the 80s. No. Like, people my age, they don't think the 80s. But, you know, I tell people, my love for wrestling was when I saw a wrestler by the name of Stan the Man Stasiak. And that was Sean Stasiak's father. And he was a tall guy, 6'1", 6'2". He had pork chop sideburns, you know, the real thick sideburns, and he had like the real cream slick back hair, and it was jet black. Right. Wore black tights, taped hands, black boots. Simple looking, wasn't like you know, muscular like a Rick Rude or nothing, but it was thick. You know, it wasn't real pretty or nothing. And he would do the heart punch, and he would punch people in the heart, and it would like, you know, knock them out, so to speak. And I'm like, look at this dude. Like, he was like a total heel and everything, and just his facials and stuff. And I just fell in love with his character, and I was like, that's what I want to do. So I watch guys like him and Adrian Street and even Murdoch. If you watch Murdoch's facials and stuff when he would get hit. I am a big person on the facials, so when people hit me, and you take a picture, you know, those facials make a huge difference. Yeah. So, and that's what I do. I go back to those iconic moments or those legends in the ring, and you watch them. Like a Johnny Rod, you know, he was short but muscular, and you know, he would come with that punch, and you know, it looked, you know,
I could see Amy if I could turn back.
That's what I try and do.
Amy, if I could turn back time, I could see you facing Luna. Or
let me tell you something. If Barry Gibb was special guest referee, and we all know that I think Barry Gibb is God with a British accent, I would look at Barry and go, man, no, I want to stay alive like your song. Right. I ain't wrestling Luna.
Or Sherry.
Let me tell you
or Sherry.
I really enjoyed working with her. I really did.
I know. She's a great person. Miss her.
Oh, I miss her. I miss her ton. I miss Jim Neidhart, too. Oh, my God. What a kick in the gut with that one.
Oh, my God. That was tragic. Like, so many people.
Oh, my God. So many fucking crazy road stories with him, too.
Yeah.
Always had a good time with him. He always made me laugh. Like, one time, here's one. This is just telling tales. So, we're coming back from working this breast cancer show over in Levittown.
Yeah.
And the promoter, Marty, was like, you know, can you get somebody to bring me? So I said something to Jim, and Jim lowered his price and stuff. And then I got him some seminars to do in the area and stuff like that, you know, to make up the income. And, you know, I made sure everybody, you know, paid for his meals and stuff like that to throw on top of it. So we're coming back, and we stop at Wawa. And I go to grab some money because I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to order cheesesteaks. I'll just, you know, let me grab some money and stuff so I have money for the rest of the week. And I played hooky from work for like 3 days. Jim decided he was going to stay in town for an extra 3 days. So I was like, oh, fuck it, I ain't going to work. All of a sudden, I got strep throat, you know?
Yeah, right.
So Jim goes into the Wawa, and I see him with this king-size Snickers. So I'm like having a Mac, and he walks into the bathroom. So he comes down. I go, where's the Snickers? And he looks at me. He goes, Snickers. I go, the Snickers you had in your hand. He goes, I got the Snickers in my hand. It's all in his fucking goatee and on his shirt chocolate. I was fucking roaring. I said, Jim, did you eat a Snickers? I don't know what you're talking about. I ran outside like a giddy schoolgirl, and I said to the other people who were riding with. I'm like, you're never going to believe what this motherfucker did. They go, what? I go, he took a king-size Snickers, and he fucking ate it in the shitter. And they're like, what? I go, yeah, it's all over his shirt. And then he comes in, he goes, these people, he goes, I don't know what Amy's problem is. I think she was drinking tonight. He's like, she thinks I ate a Snickers in the men's bathroom. And they're like, well, Jim, what's that all over your shirt? He goes, I don't know. One guy goes, smells like chocolate. He goes, well, I don't know how they got there. I was just like, what? The fuck you, Cave Haven. But crazy. Yeah, it's just been crazy with all the people in wrestling passing away.
I know.
I'm like, oh, no more,
so
please,
crazy.
no mas.
So crazy, Amy.
I know.
The world just needs to stop with that stuff. Lives go on, you know. We live. We still think of our friends. Think of our good.
You gotta enjoy the moments that you have with people, and that's what I always tell people. Like when you go to a wrestling show, don't sit there on your fucking cell phone and text and all that. Have a conversation with somebody. Get to know somebody.
Talk to the wrestlers.
You never know what might trigger or fire something inside of you. You know.
Step outside the ring and talk to Amy Lee. There you go.
I don't know. We don't have 10 personalities if we can handle it.
Or you might get the skull fuck tonight. Stay tuned.
You know, and like I always say to people, whether the fans like you or they hate you, who cares? Because either way, you're getting their money.
Right.
You know, and if the fans talk to you and they're nice to you, don't be a dick to them. Really, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick to the fans. You
oh my God, Amy! You know? I think I tell people, Amy, I'm going to make a sign. I'm going to make a skull fuck sign. Amy,
what's that?
I'm going to bring a skull fuck sign. I'm going to make a big poster. The Queen of Skull Fucks. Amy Lee.
Yes, I am. I really am.
I'm going to bring that. I should make a poster. I always used to love doing that when I was like younger. Making those quick
Dude,
posters.
I want to tell you something. You talk about that. The Philadelphia Spectrum, every month, I was such a mark for Hogan. Oh, my God. I had a room in my house. I still have it. It's a memorabilia room of nothing but Hogan from, like, all his, like, European tours, Japanese tours, everything from WWE, AWA, all that. Florida, all his shit, you know? And I used to make posters when I was a kid, and I used to go to the arena, and I would, like, hold them up and stuff. And if I saw it on TV on Prism Wrestling, it was like Christmas in July, you know?
I remember actually going to WrestleMania 5 with my dad. You know, we're sitting way up in the nosebleeds, and I actually had the Hogan Mega Powers Explosion fluorescent orange poster. I believe I could see a hint of it. If I look really up, like squint my eyes on the tapes and stuff, I could see my poster up there.
So I let me tell you this.
Yeah.
So back in the day, I was teaching martial arts when I was like in high school, middle school, and stuff like that, up until like my college, until I like moved away to learn how to wrestle. And I was babysitting. I was about 16, 17 years old, and I was babysitting some of my students. Like the parents would be like, "Hey, you know, like I have to do this thing and all. How about you come babysit my kids, you know, do like a private lesson with them for a couple of hours?" And I'm like, all right. So I would go there and I would say to kids, what do you want to learn? They would do it. We would do it for like half an hour because I didn't want to tie up all their free time. And then I was like, all right, what are we watching on TV? So they would rent me like, you know, VHS tapes back in the day, the VHS tapes. So we put the Hulkamania one on, and there was my poster. I was on there. I was like, that's me! That's me! I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, I made Hulk Hogan's video! She's like, what? And I was telling her. So then we rented it at home, and we were watching it, and I must have bought like 6 copies of this fucking tape.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, oh, my God. I thought it was the greatest thing on earth. I was on a Hulk Hogan VHS tape.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my
Amy,
God.
I'll never forget the time that I was in New York City for when the WWF had the restaurant. Remember that?
Yes. I went there.
I was there for, it was Christmas time, I remember, and me and my sister were there. So we walk into the place to, you know, check it out, see what's going on, go get a table, you know, to eat some dinner and see what's going on. And the lady at the counter says, oh, they're taping wrestling tonight. They're going to be live tonight. I'm like, what? Live? On TV? I didn't know what's going on. So I stood behind Michael Cole and Taz doing commentary during a Stone Cold... It was, I think it was the angle was, it was the Christian and Taz angle, you know, and it was the Stone Cold and Booker T at the supermarket.
Oh my God!
How like random was that? Yeah, and I called my mom up. I called my mom, please tape this. Guess what? She taped it for me, and I got it digitally remastered. And yeah, so I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then I'm like doing chants with Taz, were like talking about Ric Flair, like the master, who's the master of the figure 4, Ric Flair, woo, you know, we're like, because I didn't know who was, you know, we were worldwide. I didn't realize it was live, you know.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
I know, right?
Oh, I have where I watched, where I was at Prism Wrestling, there was ones where I was with, me and, Rock and Rebel were sitting front row during a Hogan match, cheering and high-fiving. We didn't even know one another.
Oh, my gosh.
Talk about some crazy shit. Like, you look back at some of the indie wrestlers, like around my age and a little bit older, that were at the shows when they were teenagers, and who knew, like, Derek Domino was like, he was like a big Piper fan. I remember he did a run-in, and Piper said, stop, don't arrest him, and he goes, you're a fucking faggot. Piper could kick your ass. And I thought that was like, I was like, oh my God. So it was so funny because we're sitting at an indie show for Coraluzzo and we're talking. And I looked at him and I said, you remember that time you did the run-in with Piper? And he was like, oh, you remember that? I was like, I was there. And he was like, oh my God. We were like talking and stuff. And it's just so funny how
you find yourself in a crowd.
People like Bay Ragney would go to the shows, like, all of us, like Chubby Dudley, you know, we would all different walks of life, we would all go to the shows, and then we wound up, years later, you wound up on an indie show with one, and you're like, isn't that fucking cool? Like, you didn't know one another, and you became friendly at the shows, and the next thing you know, you're working shows together.
Yeah, and then you're eating dinner.
It's pretty cool, though. If you think about it, it's really, really cool. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I think shit like that is just cool.
It is.
It really is. It really, really is. You know, like, Maven Bentley and I've known him for years. You know, when I worked at PW and stuff, I would see him always a gentleman, always a class act, generally like him. And I got to know him more when he got involved with WSU and stuff like that. I got to know him, and I really enjoyed working with him, and we worked well off of one another, playing off of one another with the vignettes. And now, like, when he's in the city, like, where I work, my company I work for, the corporation I work for, sponsors a lot of his youth programs.
Oh, cool.
You know, because, like, you know, he's involved with different youth programs and stuff. So he'll hit me up, and I go, yo, so you want to hit Starbucks today? Are we going to lunch? And we take turns, and we fight over the check all the time. And then we always are like, hey, DJ, we went to lunch today. Sucks to be you. You didn't get to go with us. Like, we always, like, fuck with him and shit, you know? But I see Maven now, and I was like, Maven, isn't it funny how, like, I see you at PW, and we were always kind to one another, and always polite and high, and even DJ, like, I have no issues with anybody. I don't want to fight with, let's too short to fight.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm going to fight, I'm going to fight in the ring. I'm not going to fight in real life.
No.
So when you see these guys and stuff like that, like DJ and I, a few months back, we were talking, and we were talking about some stuff, and I said, hey, let's grab dinner one night. And we grabbed dinner, and we sat there for like 4 hours, and all we talked about the whole time was wrestling. He goes, Amy, you don't understand. I could talk wrestling all the time. I go, DJ, you don't understand. That's all I want to talk about is wrestling all the time. I said, when I'm at work, I talk about legal beagle shit. When I'm outside of work, I just want to talk wrestling. I love wrestling. Mm-hmm. I just love it.
That's why I tell my coworkers. There's not a lot of people that like wrestling, but I tell them this is great stuff. You're missing out. You're missing out.
You know what it is? I think it's because people say, oh, like if you go, oh, that's corny or this, that, and the other. I have friends that I have people that I went to high school with, and their kids are like wrestling fans and stuff, and I'm like, yo, come to an indie show, come see me, and they do, and they're like, oh my God, and they're like, Mom, you went to school with her, and they're like, yeah, and it just, it tickles your heart and stuff like that.
It does.
But there's only one guy that's like really, really worked my last female nerve. And I think it's because of his immaturity and lack of knowledge of pro wrestling, the actual business, whoever trained him. And that's the king in New York. What's his name? Jorge Aurora or something like that. Yeah. He calls himself the king in New York. And he said, I retired for a couple of years and I came back because I wanted to make it big, but now I'm retiring again. And he said, anybody that just worked the indies all the time, they're fucking losers, they're nobody. And I'm like, who the fuck are you to say I'm a loser and a nobody? Because first of all, you don't know me, okay? I turned down not once, but I turned down twice an opportunity with WWE, and I turned down an opportunity at TNA. Because no offense, I have a thing that's called a mortgage on my house, and I'm not waiting 6 weeks to get paid. No. And once, as quick as you're in is as quick as you're out. Yeah. So some people are there for a lifetime. You never know. Yeah. And yes, it's a gamble, but you know what? I'm sorry. I got too much to lose. Okay, I got, I've got to travel the world.
You do.
The tours that I did in wrestling, paid for my college education. That led me to a good paying job. I have a pension. I have medical. I have annuity. I have profit share. I have timeshares. I have a healthy marriage. I have a healthy relationship. My husband used to work for Vince Sr. on the mid-cars up and down the East Coast. So when I was going into wrestling, he was retiring from the business. So he understands that. And he's respectful to everybody in the wrestling business. He's not a dick to anybody. When he walks into a locker room to this day, at 67 years old, he shakes people's hands and introduces himself. Yeah. Okay, he's always a gentleman. He doesn't hang in the locker room or any of that. No. He sits out there and he watches it because he's still a fan. Even though you're a worker, you're still a fan. Like Cornette said, yeah, so what? I work in it, but I'm still a fucking fan. I like it. You know what I mean? So for somebody like with this King of New York guy to make a comment that people that work the indies are losers, you're fucking ignorant to the business because there's a lot of talent out there on the indies. Not everybody can go to the big dance. You're living proof, brother. But guess what? Some of us had the opportunity, and you have to make a decision. The first time I made the decision, I said no because my mom was in hospice at the time, and I wasn't leaving. If I bail on my mom, who the fuck else? You know what I'm saying? You can bail on anybody else, but you bail on your mom, you're a piece of shit. And then my brother died. 3 years later, I had another opportunity. They were doing this whole diva thing, and they were going to bring me and Luna in to just like dominate everybody before she got fired. Yeah. My brother died. Yeah. So I inherited a 5-year-old little kid to raise. So what do you do with a 5-year-old? You say, sorry, I got to go wrestle and follow my dreams. Fuck you. You don't matter. Yeah. I'm their godmother. Yep. She's graduated now and in college and stuff like that. I like to say that
you were blessed.
I was a positive.
Yep, you got blessed.
And then when I met Kong, they had made an opportunity when she was leaving. They were like, hey, you want to come in and all? I don't want to wait 6 weeks for a fucking paycheck. And you know what? I'm not giving up a full steady paycheck to do that. Now, other people will do that, and that's great. Maybe if I wasn't married, maybe if I didn't have a mortgage, maybe if I wasn't raising, stepkids and nieces and nephews, I would have done it. But, that opportunity didn't come until later for me in life. And you know what? I can honestly say I turned it down not once, not twice, but 3 times. Twice with the Fed and once with TNA.
Yeah. What made you say no? Because it was just not worth it. Which is probably really wasn't.
It's not. You know what? I look at it and I look at the Mae Young Classic and I'm like, would I have liked to have been part of that even if
my
around?
God.
Yeah, I would have. Back in the day, but reality right now, fuck no.
No, I know.
I'm too old. I'm too out of shape. I'm a realist. I'm not a bullshitter that way.
I know. Yeah, and you'd be,
But I think it's great that they're doing that. I really do. And I think it's phenomenal that they're finally acknowledging all that. I wish it was done back in the day, but unfortunately
now
it was
it's
not.
Now it's a life. Now it's a life.
And I mean, I would have liked to seen, there's other people. I'd like to seen Riptide in there. I'd have liked to seen Simply Luscious in there, or Jazz. You know what I mean? Like I would have liked to seen them and Miss Jackie and people like that in the ring. Screaming Daphne for the Mae Young Classics. And
Come
stuff.
on,
Like
or
they
Amy,
had something like that back in the day.
Hunter,
but
or
really,
April,
all they had
or
was
April
the
Hunter
women's promotion, which was WEW, and that's where we all worked.
Yep, even April Hunter.
Like I say to these girls, you can. I'm not taking away from Trish Stratus or Lita or any of them by any means. They did absolutely phenomenal. But you got to remember, on your indie scenes, WEW revised women's wrestling. It was fucking dead.
It was.
They did some crazy shit and they revived it. And then Sean DeMix said, let me take it another step and put more fucking talent out there. And then he built WSU, and that helped the area with women's wrestling.
And Shine came around, and all these other great companies. I was like, wow, it's
yeah. Because it actually was Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Outrageous Wrestling, and then it was Women's Extreme Wrestling. Because Glow. It was a partnership, and they split apart. And then I went with WEW because it was TV time. I was on TV at one time. 4 times a week. I was on there for WEW.
Yeah.
I was 3 times a week. WXW and PWU.
Yeah.
So I was on there 3 of the 5 times. And so I was like,
that crowd was something else, Amy. When I first saw that, when I first heard about that and watched that, I was like, oh my god, look at this crowd. Look at this crowd.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy crowd, and it was things that you normally, you don't go and stuff like that. Like, I remember, you have to understand something. This is what I tried to explain to people back then, is when I was wrestling, I was old school. I was a Murdoch. I was a cookie cutter for Murdoch, old school, carried bags, yes sir, no sir, spoken when, speak when spoken to type thing and all. And a very traditional old school background.
Yes.
Okay? So I walk into a locker room and there's people eating nachos and drinking and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I never was in a locker room like this. It was always like, respectful. They went over to matches, this, that, and the other. So I'm like, okay. So then I said to them, what do you want me to say? They're like, we want you to cut a promo in the ring. And I'm like, okay, what do you want me to say? They go, whatever comes to mind. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, are we allowed to curse? And they go, say whatever you want to say. I just want to see what you got. And I went, okay. So that's when I did it. And it was Davey May I wrestled. And to this day, I thank that guy because he really put me on the map when he put me over. He let me beat the balls off of him. And I will forever be grateful to him and Lucky and Ty Killer Reed because
oh my God, remember Ty Killer Reed? Oh my God, I remember her. I remember her. She was a character.
Yeah, she's a great girl. Trisha's a great girl. Like, that's the thing. People forget where they come from. Those 3 people made me look like $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they took the ass whoopings off of me that made me look like $1 million. So, when I go out there against Davey May, I just cut the promo, and people are like, I just go, shut the fuck up. And then the crowd, and then it was like when you handed me the microphone, I just ran with it. It was like you handed me, the Holy Grail, and I just ran with it.
And you're on TV live doing this.
And when I used to wrestle back in the 90s and stuff, I was very technical. I wasn't really a brawler. I was more technical from the catch-as-can wrestling and the martial art. But when I went in WEW, the biker chick and all, they're like, no, we want you to be a fucking barroom brawler. And
all right.
Like, okay,
this
if that's
is up
what
my
you
alley.
So they wanted me to be a foul-mouthed brawler, and that's what I did. And no offense, it just put me on the map.
That character really, I don't know, people didn't realize it. Nobody ever knew that, like that was awesome to be on TV. Come on, you got your time to be on TV. Like, that's awesome back in the day. People,
yeah, it was. I was 3 times a day.
And then it made DVDs.
So when somebody says, you just worked the indies, you're a loser. You're not a fucking loser. I'm not a loser.
No.
I'm in 5 fucking Hall of Fames as somebody on the indies. I'm not a loser.
Yeah.
And these aren't like shithole promotions where it's Joe Shit the Ragman. These are people that have been around for 20, 30 fucking years that are recognizing my efforts. I was the fucking heel that built fucking WSU. Everybody else was a babyface. If you were with me, you were a heel. If you weren't with me, you were a babyface. That's how it was. WEW, if you were with me, you were a heel. If you weren't with me, you were considered a babyface. And that's what a lot of PW, if you were with Amy Lee, you were a heel. If you weren't, you were not a heel. And I mostly worked heel. If people like me, it's because they choose to like me. I don't change who I am. I don't change my character or anything.
Never will.
People just choose it. And I think for me, what gets me over so much is I look like a human being. I'm not like I'm not a size 2. I don't have fake tits and both.
No.
I look real.
You're
real.
awesome.
So
You're the real deal. You're the real deal. Primetime.
And people can relate to me more, you know? So when somebody says, you're a fat fuck, you know, and I'll be like, I may be fat, but you're paying for my fucking
awesome.
pussy on a Saturday
Amy is
night,
awesome outside the ring, too.
Front row at this show. Because your sorry ass couldn't get a date tonight. Because Rosie Palmer and her 5 daughters even got us ready to dump your ass.
Yes.
You know, like shit like that. You know, you just wait. Like one guy turned around and said to me, "You suck." I go, "Hey, fuck you, you swallow."
Yep.
Somebody goes, "You're fat." I go, "I'm not fat. I just suck a lot of cock and swallow." Like people don't expect that from you. You have to be quick-witted.
You do.
So I always tell people, you know, like when I started out in wrestling, I was Amy Lee.
Yeah.
But then when I went to WEW, that's when I really was noticed. Like, I mean, I got my schooling and stuff like that down south and working the indies and different things like that, and the tours and stuff. It smartened me up. But I really got on the map, honestly, when I started with WEW. Like when I was working for Larry Sharp and Dennis Carluzzo, if they wanted to turn somebody heel, they put them with me. That's how it always was. If you want to be a heel, you're with Amy Lee. You know, like I'll never forget me and Eddie Gilbert are leaving the school grounds of Jonesboro, Arkansas, and he's yelling at me, "Shut the fuck up! You're down south. Don't fucking shoot us." Man. You know, and the fans are chasing us back to the building, back to the dressing room. And I was like, "That's the fucking heat." And I remember sitting there with Kamala, and I'm like, "Damn, James, this is like some fucking heat. We sitting here for like 2 hours." He goes, "Amy, I know." And I'm like, "Dude, we're gonna get killed." He goes, "But think of it this way: we may die, but we'll be over. We'll be over as heels. We'll be over." And I'm like, "Fuck being over. I want to be alive.
I want to be alive. Get me out of here quick."
Yeah, but we're over. We'll be over, and they'll never forget us. We got killed because we were over as heels. And I'm like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yep. It's so great, Amy. Wow. It's so great. What a... Wow. Boy.
So, but yeah, that's how it is, you know. That's what people don't understand. I mean, there's a building. You have to build yourself. You have to learn, and then when you take the tools that you learn with, and then you go further with it. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget, men getting hired for a larger company, even back when I was wrestling, was easier than a woman because they really didn't have steady women until the late 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Like, I mean, they had Sherry Martel and Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah.
But they really didn't have steady female wrestlers until almost the Diva era. Think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they used girls like Malaya Hosaka and Little Jeannie and all when they wanted to have a girls' match on, like, WCW or WWE. They would use Velvet McIntyre.
Yeah.
I mean, they had women for a little bit steady there with Wendy Richter and Leilani Kai and Judy Martin.
Yeah.
You know, which was cool because Judy Martin and Leilani Kai are like legitimate badasses, tough motherfuckers. Yeah. And then, but they really didn't emphasize women on the shows until like 2000. And then, you know, I tried, and the funny part is I tried for about a year to get in with WEW.
Yeah. And
then Chubby Dudley, a.k.a. Bay Ragney, who ran Liberty Professional Wrestling, Liberty Championship Professional Wrestling. His wife, Jess Ragney, was helping Dan Colwell out with PR work and stuff like that for WEW. And they turn around and she was like, "Why don't you book my friend? She's like the greatest fucking heel, blah, 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 blah." And he was like, "Short of somebody." And he said, "All right, tell her to come Thursday." She called me on a Wednesday night and said, "Come tomorrow night to this place." And I'm like, "Really? I got to work the next day." She goes, "Do you want to do it or not?" And I went, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, show the fuck up." So I showed up, and I was booked on every show. Every fucking show they ever had.
Wow.
I was booked. Matter of fact, when I left that night, they gave me a list of dates. And they said, "These are all your bookings for the next, and this is what we're paying you." And I never had a problem with my pay. My money was always there. They always treated me real good. So I can't complain.
No,
I can't.
You can't.
Like all my promo vignettes that I did for WEW and for WSU, they actually allowed me to do that. Yeah. You know, they were like, "Here, you run with it." So I'm like, "All right, you want a big bad biker chick? No problem. Let's do this." You know, proctologists, stuff like that. And then you had Moolah and Mae Young that were on the show, and I walked up to them, and I was like, would you do me the honor of watching our match? And it was November to Remember, and it was the first time I ever met Riptide and worked with her, and we just clicked. And I was like, please, and they were like, I would have done this, I would have done that, but I like this, I like this. There was more likes than dislikes, and I thanked them, and meeting Moolah over the years and stuff like that, she, high compliment, I would have made a ton of fucking money with you. And I was like, that's a compliment,
That's so awesome. That is like...
Yeah, like when you're veterans like a Paul Orndorff or a Tito Santana or a Luna Vachon or a Scotty Bam Bam Bigelow, and they say to you, man, I'll work with you anytime. You know what? You should have been in the big leagues. Yeah. That's a compliment because then they recognize how I was raised in the business. That's why Ricky Morton and Manny Fernandez, Raging Bull, when I met them, I clicked with them because they just knew, they knew my mannerism, and they were like, who took you under the wing? And I was like, my wrestling daddy's Uncle Dickie Murdoch. And they're like, Dickie Murdoch. And they were like, boom, family, seal of approval. Because they knew. They knew Dickie, first of all, Dickie didn't really train a lot of people. And number two, they knew Dickie didn't tolerate disrespectfulness and bullshit in the locker room.
Right.
So, I was very fortunate that way.
Yeah.
So, Dickie training me and acknowledging that put a stamp of approval on me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, which was pretty cool.
Wow, this was a long interview, Amy.
I know, I'm so sorry.
That's all good. We had nothing going on. I'm glad
I can talk wrestling all day. I love wrestling.
Amy, we love it. You know what I mean?
So
you
much.
love this.
You cut my fucking arms. I don't have veins. I have ropes.
I love this. This is great. We killed it tonight. Yeah. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I said I wasn't going to go do a podcast. He goes, you are? I said, I am.
You're right.
I'm so excited. I do, because I just love talking about wrestling.
You can talk all you want on my show. I got to have you on my... Oh, my God.
I can't wait to see you on Sunday. I'm so excited. My husband's going to be there, too, so I definitely want to get a picture with you and the hubby together.
No, we got to get a video.
And then what we do is like...
You know what? We need a skull fuck video. We got to do a skull fuck.
That?
I'm going to get a video of us for my podcast. I'm going to put it... I'll have a... Like I do my promos with all the wrestlers, Get a skull fuck.
Yeah.
Skull fuck with you. All right.
We'll use Joe Beasler. We'll skull fuck Joe Beasler.
All right.
All right?
We'll set it up. Wow.
All right, yeah, definitely. We'll do it on Sunday. That's not a problem.
And Amy, guess what? You're going to get a pin. Yay!
Yay!
You're going to get a lapel pin, finally. Those took me for... You got a shirt, now you get a pin.
What's so sad is I have a rated G Primetime Amy Lee t-shirt, and then I have the rated X, which is, remain calm and skull fuck.
Oh.
I thought... Because I just had that one done. Yeah. I had it redone. I did it over in the UK when I did a tour about a year ago, and people just fucking went crazy over it.
That's cool.
And I had Primetime Amy Lee on the back of it, and then what I did is I had, like, the American flag, with wings, and people just went fucking batshit over it.
Oh, I
can't. So I said, I'm going to vamp it for American style. People are just, like, going crazy over it. Now I just got to fucking get the shirts, because there was an issue with a guy. Don't get me wrong, the guy refunded me my money and all, but there was an issue where he took on too much work, couldn't print them. So now I just reached out to a guy, and I was like, hey, can you have these shirts for me by such and such date? So I'm just waiting to hear from him. Because, I refunded everybody but one guy that sent me the money, because I don't like holding on to people's money,
I know.
Most people in the business, they don't give a shit, but I'm too conscientious. That's my legal beagle in me. And I'm like, listen, you guys pay for these shirts. Now, a lot of people are like, just hold on to it. I know you're good for it. One guy goes, yeah, if you want to send it back, that's fine. And I was like, yeah, I have no problem. It's his money, I'm not giving you the merch. I don't want you pissed off at me.
Yeah.
Because, the shirts aren't cheap because they're cheap.
I know how much. I know they don't go.
They're beefy shirts.
No, mine aren't cheap either. My company guy get them from Ferraris Tees. They're expensive.
Okay.
They're a good deal. I get a good deal.
Okay. So if this guy don't get back to me, I'll reach out to you about your T-shirt guy.
Hey, they're right in town, and he'll take care of it. Yeah.
Cool. So, all right, well, listen, I'm gonna let you go. And
all right, Amy. Any last words for your audience? Go ahead, or for everybody in the world. Go ahead.
What's that?
Any last skull fucking words?
Yes. Life is fake. Wrestling's real. Carbs are good for you. Meat makes you happy. And skull fuck till you can't fuck no more.
And Amy Lee, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram at MSAmyLee 869, Twitter MSAmyLee 869, or Facebook, my shoot name is Amy Lee Murray Palmer, in parentheses, Prime Time, spelt with a Y, no motherfucking I.
But this Sunday, everybody's...
This Sunday, you're going to find me at Opportunity Knocks number 3 against that big fat pussy Stockade, because he's giving up carbs and meats and booze, because he's trying to get skinny. I'm still going to skull fuck the shit out of him. Or if you're up in Long Island on Saturday night, see me at NYWC Wrestling. Or in October, you can fucking see me the second weekend in October at Atomic Pro Wrestling up in Stevensville, PA.
And I hope you're around for that. And I hope you're around for October's Danny Havoc show. I hope you'll be there.
What's that?
I hope you'll be there for the Danny Havoc and Tremont show.
I may be booked, my love.
Oh, boy. But you never know where you'll be.
Listen, not bad for a 49-year-old fat broad that eats carbs and drinks booze all the time.
I know.
Storm. I'm telling you, I get booked a lot. I love it. It's like people, like, I have this thing, Ian Rotten's doing his Queen of Death tournament match, and he invited me, and I'm like, unfortunately, I can't take it because, and I know this sounds lame, people will be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But my shoot job, I work in a legal department of a bank, and it's our fourth quarters, and we have the general counsel coming into town, so I got to be there that week. I would have to take 2 days off to work his tournament.
Yeah.
And I really want to work his tournament, but I really like my job.
But you know what? They're coming down. I think they're doing a show at the H2O.
They are. I'll be there.
What? I'll be there too. I'm going to go.
Solo Manny's are raising Bo Fernandez.
Yes, I need to go because, they want me to come. I'll be there.
Yeah, you better.
I got to go. Support my friends. Got to support everybody we know. We love it. H2O is where it's at, folks, but it's IWA for one night only. You believe that?
That's some crazy motherfucking shit.
It is. Amy, have a great night, and I will talk to you.
You too, and I'll see you on Sunday. And remember, live life to the fullest and remain calm while you skull fuck.
Thank you.
All right, I love you, baby.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, fans, you heard it from her. You've heard it from Primetime, the queen of skullfucks, Primetime Amy Lee. She's ready for this coming week. She's got a lot going on, and just remember, support indie wrestling and women's professional wrestling. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.
You can find more Deathmatch Russell podcasts on the following social media: DeathmatchRussell.com, follow on Twitter at DavidNJ32, and on Facebook, Facebook.com/DJDaveNJ32. Find me on Podcast City Network at PodcastCity.net, Facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit the like button and share, and on Twitter at PodcastCityNet. You can hear Deathmatch Russell podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes.